Hey guys, just a little, a little something here. I'm going to call it on hunt for members of the Illuminati. So I have managed to find some people who I didn't quite expect because they seem kind of innocuous and not particularly effectual, but I'm going to mention it. So earlier I said you can find members of the Illuminati in the strangest places. For example, the Hello magazine, which is like a glossy celebrity gossip magazine full of the lifestyles of the rich and tasteless. Pictures of plenty of ludicrously rich women experiencing lifestyles one can only salivate over. And it includes often clues to who our ruling elite are. And would you know, I found that I actually have a Facebook friend who is a member of the Illuminati. No wonder who that could be. Like a friend hasn't invited me to any of the parties, because I'll explain further later on. So this is what I discovered. I was looking at the Rothschild family tree on Wikipedia, which is actually a good resource for this, believe it or not. So let's go over there. Wrong page. Here we go. Sorry guys, let's get that back up and see if we got it. Yeah, we got the right page. Sorry, I had the wrong page for some reason. Let's go back there. So I immediately found the Goldschmidt family of German Jewish descent from Frankfurt. The family was interwoven particularly with the Rothschild family, the Bischofsheim family of Mainz, and the Bartholomew family. And I think these definitely warrant further investigation. This Bartholomew, if you click that, they haven't made a link for it. And the Bischofsheim, I checked them out, but most of the members they mentioned are dead, so we would have to look more into that. Those families co-jointly managed the Bischofs and Goldschmidt and C Bank, which eventually became the Banque de Crédit et de Déposit de Pays-Bas and the BNP Paribas. So you can see this, if this family, the Goldschmidt, is interwoven with the Rothschild, they're kind of important. Let's see if we can find out more about this family. Who are they? Family tree. There you go, there's the original guy. Now you can see at some stage they changed their name to Goldsmith, right? And here we have Frank Goldsmith. We have someone called Cleo Goldsmith. There's a picture of her, former French actress. She is married to Mark Shand. Guess who Mark Shand is? He's Camilla Parker Bowles' brother. Keeping it in the family. Let's go on. We have James Goldsmith, who was originally married to Maria Isabel Patino, and then married Annabelle Van Tempest. Now, James Goldsmith was leader of a political, well, not leader, he was involved in a political party in France, and he went on to run something called the Referendum Party, and he ran as an independent long before sort of UKIP and that got really strong. He ran under something called the Referendum Party to try and get a referendum to get the UK out of Europe. Since passed on, Lady Annabelle, that's the Annabelle of the famous nightclub, which I would know nothing about, having never been to those sort of places, in London, called Annabelle's, obviously private members, really, really exclusive, named after her. But very interesting, let's check out the children of James Goldsmith, because we all know them. It's Jemima Goldsmith, the former wife of Imran Khan. So see Imran Khan, now president of Pakistan, very plugged into the Rothschilds, because we're seeing here the Goldsmiths are like that with the Rothschilds. Imran Khan, interesting. Let's watch very, very closely what transpires in Pakistan. Then we have her brother Zach Goldsmith. There is a picture of him. Now he looks like a fairly regular guy. I wouldn't have said that he's that influential. He's been the MP Arm and Orr for Richmond, which is in a posh area of southwest London. And he campaigns on kind of green issues. He had a dismally failed attempt to run for London mayor last time around against Sadiq Khan. He's now in the House of Lords. To me, this is a guy that doesn't seem to be doing an awful lot, apart from obviously being on the ecological bandwagon. That's kind of similar to what we're pushing the agenda, isn't it? Now, I'm actually a Facebook friend of his. Nothing special. When he was an MP, he was basically accepting anybody, and I wanted to write to him about some ecological issues, which I did. He replied, but this was a while ago, before I realized kind of other things that are going on. Now, interestingly, his brother Ben Goldsmith is married to a Rothschild there. He's married to Kate Emma Rothschild. They got married at Kensington Palace because, of course, they're very cozy with our royals, aren't they? And Zach was married to a lady, Sherazade Bentley. who was obviously a very sophisticated, well-connected woman, a photographer, but he divorced her, and now he's married to Alice Miranda Rothschild. So you can see how they keep it in the family, don't they? You know, maybe their first marriages, they have a bit of fun, but in the second marriage, they've got to come back and marry in with a clan again. So these people are obviously more connected and more influential than we're really taking note of. We see them around, we see them in the hello, they don't seem to be doing anything particularly significant. You know, kind of interesting. Here we have a Maximilian Goldschmidt who also married a Rothschild. So why are they intermarrying? Because, you know, they're keeping it in the club. I remember an article in the Hello, shame on me for reading it, but it said Imran Khan had never even asked how much Jemima was worth. Well, he wouldn't, would he? I mean, the mind boggles. But I suppose it's all in foundations, in trusts. In Vanguard, these are probably the secret shareholders of Vanguard who own pretty much everything with Blackstone. BlackRock, should I say, is public. You can check some of the owners, which are all institutional mainly, but Vanguard's all private. So these are kind of people who are in Vanguard who are probably pushing the agenda, even though, as I say, they kind of look innocuous. So let's just have a quick look at Jemima. Jemima and Zach are both Aquarians, by the way. I don't remember what other brother is. Talks about her early education. I just wanted to show you something I found fairly interesting. Oh yes, she wrote for the New Statesman. That was one of her editor-at-large for the American magazine Vanity Fair, and associate editor of the New Statesman, which is very Fabian in nature, set up by the Fabian Society. So gives you an idea of the kind of agendas she's pushing. Talks about her film, TV, journalism, so-called journalism, blah blah blah. She was, yes, at one stage she was an advocate for Julian Assange, wasn't she? Wasn't she going and visiting Julian Assange, or potentially acting as an advocate for him? What happened to that? It didn't go anywhere, did it? It hasn't really helped him, despite all her resources. Do you note that wife of Clooney's, Amal, who's a human rights lawyer, yeah, where is she when all this is going on? Nowhere, never heard of her. And she was also being an advocate and at one stage interested in helping Julian Assange. Well, we saw how far that went. Absolutely nowhere. Goes on to talk about fashion, philanthropy, yeah, whatever. Personal life. She was a friend of Diana, Princess of Wales, of course, yes, because they interconnected with the royals. Note this. In September 13, she was dating Russell Brand. Now, notice Russell Brand popping up, saying a few things about the New World Order, the Great Reset, saying things that are getting a lot of people excited and saying, look, Russell Brand's talking about these issues. Well, can he be trusted? Look, I don't know, you know, hanging out with a Rothschild. Probably controlled opposition, don't you think? This is not conclusive by any means, but it says something about it. Marriage to Imran Khan, of course, probably very significant, that since they share children together, 2 boys, so that's some leverage, isn't it, over what happens in Pakistan. Very interesting. And I don't think there was anything else too important there. I do note that she talks about the fact that she's mainly Anglican, but she does have awareness of Jewish culture, but she's converted to Islam. And I think these people, it's so disrespectful, really. They treat religion like a salad dressing. You know, I used to like French dressing. Now I'm kind of into a Thousand Island. No, wait, it's Dijon that I really like at the moment. These people are not religious at all. They just like to flirt with the concept because they think it buys them some brownie points. But I just thought that was very interesting. I didn't realize that Zach Goldsmith and the Goldsmith family were so plugged into the Rothschilds going back in history in terms of banking and whatever. So if they're that connected and they're intermarrying with the Rothschilds, you can be sure that they are at the heart of what's going on. Even though, as I say, Zach looks like a kind of a nice guy in a way, you know, kind of innocuous, doesn't seem to be moving and shaking or doing anything particularly significant, but who knows what's going on behind the scenes. So I hope you enjoyed that little one. I hope to do some more, but it's really inundated at the moment. I'm trying to get all my books out. I've got a lot of, you know, obviously astrologer, it's getting to the end of the year, horoscopes for next year. You get so many requests to write stuff. So really busy with all that, and personally October is usually such a draining month in my life. You know, it's one of those months when all sorts of things fall due and you have to do them. Damn, boring, you know, all this laborious stuff. I hope all you guys are well. And interesting to see there's a truck driver shortage in Texas, also in Poland and Germany. So it's not just a Brexit thing with the UK, it's bigger. And yeah, although I must say I was out today and I can report I did not see any shortages and everything looked incredibly normal. I note the super cold going around. Very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I think a lot of us were referring to it as something beginning with A, then D, then E. Could be. Okay, guys, lots of love to all of you. Take care.